grade 5s! Today we are going to have a lesson on homophones. So today's lesson, we're going to start by looking at what homophones are. We're then going to look at common homophones, or words that are mixed up quite often. And these come through often in your creative writing when I know what you're trying to say, but you've used the incorrect spelling of a word. So you've used the incorrect version of a homophone, and the sentence's meaning then changes completely or doesn't make sense at all, which is more common. You're then going to do a written activity, and I've then given an option of 2 online games. So what are homophones? I've included 3 little pictures here on your screen. The first is a piece of a puzzle. The second is a paw, and the third is a flower. Now, if you listen to those 3 words, piece, paw, flower, we can think of it in 2 different ways. Now, because you've got the picture, you know when I'm talking about a piece here, that I'm referring to the piece of the puzzle. But what if I was referring to peace, as in P-E-A-C-E? I want to go into the room to find some peace and quiet. Paw, in this instance, I'm talking about a dog's paw, and that's spelled P-A-W. Do you know what other paw I could be referring to? I could pour water into a glass, P-O-U-R. And our last example is flower. Now, this particular flower is spelled F-L-O-W-E-R. These are the flowers that grow from the ground that people get given for Valentine's Day. But the other flower is a flower that you might have been using during baking during lockdown, and that's spelled F-L-O-U-R. So homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings and are spelt differently. And this is very important because next term we're going to look at homonyms where they are spelt the same. Okay, so homonyms are words that sound the same but have different meanings, but those words are spelt the same. Homophones sound the same but have different meanings and are spelt differently. So the first homophone I want us to look at is 222. Now, these 3 words are often confused with each other. So when you do your creative writing, I often see 2 come through when you should be using 2. And it's very important over the next couple of slides to watch where my pointer is going, because obviously from just me saying it, it's going to be very difficult to know which of the 2s I'm referring to. So the first 2 that we have is T-O, and this refers to a direction or a destination. So I am going to the shop. I would like to see you. Okay? There are many sentences where we use T-O. It is a direction or a destination. The next 2 that we have is the number 2. I bought 2 packets of chips at the store. This one's easy. This one is the one that we often don't confuse with the other 2. Then we get to 2, T-O-O. And this one is the one that is most often not used correctly. And that is because it is a word that a lot of people don't understand its usage. So when we use T-O-O, we are looking at also or an excessive amount. It is too hot outside. I would like to go to the party too. Okay? So, difference is between this 2 and this 2. The first 2 is referring to a direction or a destination. 1 O, direction or destination. 2 O's, also, think about your friend as being the first O. She likes pizza, you're the second O, you also like pizza. Or an excessive amount. Excessive means more than what is needed. So it is too hot outside. Like, it is really hot outside. The next words that are often confused, and these are the ones that I've come across the most this year, is there, and there. So the first there shows ownership. Okay, means you own something. Their dog ran through the yard. T-H-E-I-R. The next there, T-H-E-R-E, I've got a little arrow there because it's referring to a place. Please go over there and get the dog. There is my favorite person. Okay, so it's referring to a place or a location. Then our next one is T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. And when we do contractions next term, you'll see that an apostrophe is placed where we replace a letter that has been taken out. In this case, the A. Because there is a contraction for they are. They're not happy that the dog is here. So if you are using the contraction of a word, in this example there, you must check that it is correct by, in your head, reading it aloud without the contraction. So instead of thinking to yourself, they're not happy that the dog is here, you would think, they are not happy that the dog is here. It sounds good. It keeps its meaning. Whereas if I went and put this spelling of the word there into this sentence, their dog ran through the yard. Sounds good. Their dog ran through the yard. Does that make sense? No. So it's very important that you know how each of these three words are used correctly. And if it comes down to it, when you're looking at there, always take out the apostrophe, undo the contraction, and say both words so that you can be sure that you have got it correct. The next one we're going to do is where. Now, a fourth one that is sometimes added to this is were, but it is not a homophone, so we are not going to focus on it today. So the first where that we're going to look at is where, W-H-E-R-E. This refers to a place. So if you look at the picture, this symbol is what you often see on your maps as the location. And I've put question marks. So, where are we going? Home is where the heart is. Okay? We often use where in our sentences when we're asking where a location is. Then we've got where as referring to the clothes that we put on our body. What are we wearing? You must wear your school uniform next week. Grade 5s, this is just an example. Next week, you do not need to wear your school uniform, you're still at home. Continue to wear your pajamas or whatever it is that you wear at home. But then the sentence, you can see that where is the one that refers to clothing. And the last one, again, we've got an example of a contraction. So where, we, or W-E, apostrophe R-E, which is a contraction for we are. We're all excited to see you again soon. Again, undo the contraction. We are all excited to see you again soon. So you know that you've used this homophone or this version of this homophone correctly. You know that you've used where correctly. And the last one we're going to look at is whose. So whose? Again, it shows ownership, or it's asking for the ownership of something. Whose T is this? And the second whose, W-H-O apostrophe S, is the contraction of who is. Who's going to make the T? Who is going to make the T? Okay? So always remember when you've got that contraction, if you've put it in a sentence, in your mind, just read it as if it weren't a contraction to make sure that the sentence still makes sense. So I've included one extra set of words that are commonly confused, your and your. Now your is used to show ownership, as in your tea is getting cold, and your, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, is a contraction of you are. You're not going to like what I have to say. Now, although they sound similar, they do not sound exactly the same. Your. Please remember that. And I will be including this in today's activity. Now that you've done that, I want you to head over to YouTube. The link is provided, and listen to the song about homophones, or in particular, the homophone monkey. And it gives you a few more examples of homophones. Today's written activity can be done on the worksheet, or it can be completed on lined paper. And your job is to correctly identify the correct version of the word or the correct homophone in each of the sentences. And for this one, we are only going to focus on the examples that we've gone through this lesson of commonly mistaken words. When you have done that, I want you to play a game to learn about more homophones. If you don't have the time or the access, that's okay too. It just allows you to look at a few more examples. So the first one is sentence building, and that's this one over here. And you can see an example on the screen. The car's frame is made of steel or steel, which one is the correct spelt one. And this is going to allow you to use the homophones in context. The second game that you can try is the pancake panic matching game, and it is a memory match. Please choose a memory match one, as it will be flipping over the cards. The show me the words has all the words on the screen, and it's a bit below your level. You're welcome to try it, but it's not the correct level. You do not need to play both games. You can play one, you can play both, you can play none. See how you feel and what you need to help you. Grade 5s, this is the end of another online lesson, and I am literally starting to count down the number of lessons until you are back in the classroom. If you have any questions, feel free to send a message on Class Dojo, or to get your parents to send a message on Class Dojo, or you can send an email to Dunvegan Primary Grade 5@gmail.com. Please remember, if you are sending an email, to put the subject as English so that I know it is for me. Again, special thanks for the resources that I have used in this presentation.